Hello everyone, welcome back to TechBlog 66. Today, we are stepping into the poetic and heartbreaking world of classic Italian cinema. The movie I am reviewing today is La Strada, released in 1954, directed by the legendary Federico Fellini. This is not just a film. It is an emotional journey, a philosophical reflection on humanity, loneliness, cruelty, kindness, and the fragile beauty of the human soul. La Strada, which means, the road, is a landmark film in world cinema and one of the greatest achievements of Italian neorealism, even though Fellini himself pushed beyond realism into something deeply symbolic and spiritual. The movie stars Giulietta Masina, Anthony Quinn, and Richard Basehart, and each performance leaves a lasting mark on the viewer. The story begins in a poor seaside village in Italy. We meet Giulietta, a simple-minded, innocent young woman with a childlike spirit. Her mother, struggling to survive, sells her to a traveling strongman named Zampano for a small amount of money. From the very first scene, the film establishes a harsh reality where poverty dictates destiny, and human beings are treated like commodities. Zampano is a rough, emotionally closed man who survives by performing a crude circus act, breaking chains with his chest in village squares. He takes Giulietta with him on the road, not as a partner, but as a servant and assistant. She is expected to cook, clean, and help with his act, all while enduring verbal abuse and emotional neglect. Giulietta, however, is unlike any character you have seen before. Played brilliantly by Giulietta Masina, she is gentle, curious, and deeply sensitive. She finds wonder in small things, like music, nature, and simple human interactions. Despite her suffering, she continues to smile, hoping for affection and meaning in her existence. As they travel from town to town, the road becomes more than a physical journey. It becomes a symbol of life itself, filled with fleeting encounters, temporary shelters, and unanswered questions. The film slowly unfolds without rushing, allowing the audience to observe the emotional distance between the two main characters. One of the most important moments in the film occurs when Giulietta meets Il Matto, also known as the Fool, played by Richard Basehart. He is a tightrope walker, playful, intelligent, and philosophical. Unlike Zampano, he treats Giulietta with kindness and respect. Through him, Giulietta begins to question her purpose and her value as a human being. Il Matto delivers one of the most powerful messages in the film. He tells Giulietta that everything in the world has a purpose, even a small pebble, and therefore, she too must have a reason for existing. This simple idea gives Giulietta hope and a sense of meaning, something Zampano never offers her. Zampano, however, feels threatened by Il Matto's intelligence and playful nature. His jealousy and anger reveal his emotional immaturity and inability to communicate except through violence. This tension leads to a tragic turning point in the film that forever changes the lives of the characters. Without giving away unnecessary spoilers, it is important to say that this moment marks the emotional collapse of Giulietta and exposes the devastating consequences of cruelty and indifference. From this point onward, the film becomes even more haunting and reflective. La Strada does not rely on dramatic dialogue or complex plot twists. Its power lies in silence, expressions, and moments that linger long after the scene ends. Federico Fellini uses the road as a metaphor for human existence, where people cross paths briefly, influence each other deeply, and then disappear. The cinematography is simple yet poetic. The black and white visuals capture the stark beauty of rural Italy, empty landscapes, lonely highways, and cold villages. These visuals perfectly match the emotional tone of the film, emphasizing isolation and emotional distance. The music, composed by Nino Rota, is unforgettable. Giulietta's theme, in particular, is haunting and melancholic. It reflects her innocence and vulnerability, and it echoes throughout the film like a memory that refuses to fade. The music is not just background sound, it becomes the emotional voice of the story. Anthony Quinn's performance as Zampano is raw and uncomfortable to watch. He does not try to make the character likable, and that is precisely why it works. Zampano represents emotional emptiness, toxic masculinity, and the inability to love. Yet, Fellini does not portray him as a monster, but as a deeply broken man, incapable of understanding his own feelings. Giulietta Masina, on the other hand, represents purity and emotional truth. Her suffering is quiet, internal, and deeply human. Giulietta Masina's performance is often compared to Charlie Chaplin, and rightly so. She uses her face, eyes, and body language to convey emotions that words cannot express. One of the most remarkable aspects of La Strada is its spiritual depth. The film asks fundamental questions. What is the purpose of life? Does suffering have meaning? Can love exist without understanding? Is it ever too late for redemption? The ending of the film is one of the most powerful and emotionally devastating endings in cinema history. It does not provide easy answers or comforting closure. Instead, it leaves the viewer with a profound sense of loss and reflection. It forces us to confront the consequences of our actions and the people we fail to appreciate until it is too late. La Strada was controversial when it was released. Some critics accused Fellini of abandoning strict neorealism, while others praised him for creating something deeply personal and universal. Over time, the film gained international recognition and won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, becoming Italy's first winner in that category. Today, La Strada is considered one of the greatest films ever made. It influenced generations of filmmakers and continues to resonate with audiences around the world. Its themes are timeless, and its emotional impact remains just as strong decades later. This is not a movie for viewers looking for fast pacing or conventional entertainment. La Strada requires patience, emotional openness, and willingness to sit with discomfort. But for those who accept its rhythm, the film offers a deeply moving and unforgettable experience. In conclusion, La Strada is a cinematic poem about love, cruelty, and the fragile beauty of the human soul. It reminds us that kindness matters, that every person has value, and that indifference can destroy lives just as surely as violence. Federico Fellini's masterpiece remains a powerful reminder of cinema's ability to touch the deepest parts of our humanity. If you enjoy classic cinema, meaningful storytelling, and films that stay with you long after the credits roll, then La Strada is an absolute must-watch. Thank you for watching TechBlog 66. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more classic movie reviews from around the world. This movie is available on YouTube free.